Hey folks, Landstryder here, and welcome to episode 2 of my modded Minecraft series. And I'm going to be probably flying solo mostly today. There's one other person on the server, Jackie. I don't know what they're doing. They're off doing something by himself. And you can see we finally did build some kind of shelter to keep the majority of the mobs out. It doesn't really keep spiders out if they do happen to be nearby, but it keeps the zombies and the creepers and the skeletons, oh my, keeps those out. Finished up a, well, I wouldn't say finished, but we got a functioning Tinker's Construct, and I'm sure anybody that's watched any of my series has seen this before, because this is like one of my first things. I have to absolutely just want to build a smeltery first, and since we have the Iguana Tweaks, it's kind of a necessity to build this first in this mod pack. So yeah, we did get it functioning. We've gotten the majority of the castings that we needed, and we've loaded it up with iron. So I'm getting ready to make a set of iron tools, and then I'm going to strike out because, well, go find a place. Oh, somebody has apparently found some pearl oysters, probably dug those up out of water. But there's 2 diamonds in here. That's enough for me to get started on blood magic, so I want to go right to it. So let's get right to that. The first thing I've got to do, though, is when I have the pickaxe head, I have a head. Oh, that makes sure. Okay, that's stone. I don't need that. That must have been what I was left over from when I was casting. The material, let's just throw that out there. Don't need it. So I need I want to make a sword. An iron sword. I want to make everything out of iron because we apparently have quite a bit of it in there, so there should not be a problem with that. So I'm going to need a cast. Oh, yeah, sword blade. That's the other thing I'm going to need. Sword blade, get that out. Swap that. Whoops. Put that back in. Pour it out. Okay, done with the wide guard. Grab out. That is done now. Okay. I might as well make a shovel and a hatchet upgrade. These are both, I believe, is there a way to see? Oh, I could have swore there was a way to tell. Must be a different version of Walla or something. I'm not sure why I can't see that information. Might need to update. So, but I'm pretty sure that those are flint, both of those. So there's my shovel. There's my axe. I'm going to need a shovel head. And I may as well make them completely out of iron, that way they have the high durability, because the handle is what affects your durability. Well, it has an effect on durability, I should say. The binding adds some amount of hit points, but it's not like a multiplier. It just adds like a certain amount of hit points to the base of your tool. Yeah, to your. There's the shovel. So yeah, I need 4 of these tool rods to finish up these set of tools that I'm going to make. And I probably don't have too much experience on these yet, but I'd still rather save what little bit I have and upgrade these. So while I'm pouring these out, actually, I can go ahead and come over here and grab a little bit of flint, because we should have, well, we had a bunch more flint in there. People must be using it up. This is a community type building. This is kind of like to sort of give people some place where they can get some stuff together and start out that has slightly protected from the nasties outside. And they are pretty nasty, as you've seen if you watched episode 1, and it can get really chaotic. So if I one thing that is nice about the Iguana Tweaks is it does allow you to, instead of having to craft in the tool station, I can go ahead and craft in a tinker table, which is just a crafting station that is beside a tool station. I can also craft these in my regular inventory if they fit, and I can craft these in a regular crafting table too. I don't want to do that because I want to upgrade my current axe with those two pieces, which I can do as soon as I repair it. So repairing it can also be accomplished in a standard crafting grid. And there you go. See, it's prepared. Very similar to my Agrarians. Well, not just similar, but we're using the same mods as far as Tinkers and Iguana Tweaks. Those are mods that you can find in my Agrarian Sky series, so you may have seen me do this before. Okay, once it's fully repaired, and only after it's fully repaired, you can add different parts to it. So now that's going to change the head to an iron head, and we're going to change the handle to an iron handle. That'll make it much more durable. And it can go and reside in my traditional spot for a hatchet in my inventory. Throughout my gameplay, I typically set up my action bar down here pretty much the same no matter which, mod pack, whatever I'm playing. My attack weapon, my digging weapon, my mining weapon, and something to cut trees down with. Usually something like that. So then I need to fix my shovel first. Then I can put the iron head on it and give it a metal handle, and that will make it much more durable again. So I need 2 more of these. Grab 2 more of these, and somehow I think it was because I was in the middle of trying to work with my tool. When the server went down, we played a little bit longer after you've seen episode 1 end. We had a bit of a crash, and then we got the server back up later, and then it came down again for some maintenance, so that we would be able to fix any crashes remotely, so that more than one person had access to the administrative end of it. But throughout that, at some point I was in the middle of fixing my pickaxe to try and make it iron. That's why I had the iron pickaxe head, and it disappeared when I logged back in. It was just gone. So I'm guessing that I had it in my hand or something just as the server went down, and maybe it went poof, or I left it in a crafting table and somebody else has a nice partially leveled up pickaxe somewhere. So not a big deal. It didn't have a full level on it yet, so there we go. A full set of iron tools. That should do me pretty well for what I need to get started. And moving around, I probably want to, let's see, is there enough iron in there? I think there's enough iron in there to, well, iron armor is going to take quite a bit. But since I helped mine a majority of that iron, I don't think it's a big issue, and I'm going to go get some more too, I think, before I head out. Oh, here's more iron right here. That works. That works quite well. So what I should be doing is making a tank for lava to help this out. Although I really want to get out on my own and find a spot for me to build my magic palace or whatever I'm going to build magic-wise. There's a nice island over that direction. But I think I want to be a little further away from spawn for that. And let me talk about one of the other mods we have on here. We have Morph. In case you didn't notice from like episode 1 where everybody was turning into various things and killing each other because they didn't realize that they were necessarily bad guys. And when I was down in the cave, I did manage to kill a bat. We actually have the setting on the server that a player has to get to the nether before you can fly. What we didn't realize when we set that up is it's not per player, it's any player. So since one person has managed to get to the nether already, everybody can fly if they get a bat morph. So that was unintentional. We intended that to be a little bit harder, and I think if we would have realized that, we would have set it to the wither has to die first before anybody can fly with the morph mod. So being as it is, I need to pour out a bunch of this iron. I don't really want to do it one ingot at a time because I need like 24 or 25 of them to make my armor set. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the stuff on hand to make any more grout. Sand is what I am missing. But that should not be an issue because there's a beach right down here. And it looks like somebody's digging out some sand already, or either that or there was a creeper explosion right there. Probably a creeper explosion if I had to guess. I'm just going to come right down here and flatten out the beach a little bit, grab a little bit of sand. I don't need a ton. Just need to know. It looks like they've spread a lot of torches around to try and limit the amount of spawns in this general area. That's a good thing. But what we really need is a magnum torch, which we do have the mod for that. That's extra utilities. We've got extra utilities. So I'm going to talk about some of the mods today in this episode. Try to get quick rundown of each one as I can remember it. I could just like look at a list and kind of read them off, but oh, what fun's that? I'll talk about them as I come to them, and I will definitely be touching on every mod that we have in the pack before the end of the series. So this one should go pretty long because it's not hardcore. It is a sandbox style survival, so we can die as many times as we want. I think there's a scoreboard for that. Yes, Jackie has apparently died 28 times. I'm up to 9 deaths. A little embarrassing, but we didn't build this building as quickly as we should have. We just should have got right to building a shelter, and we just kind of was goofing off. Everybody was just having so much fun playing with the new stuff that most of the guys from the server had never seen. They're not real modded players. Now, me and Saxon, we're very familiar with a lot of the mods on here. There are a few on here that I am not too familiar with, and I will be delving into those as well. So there will be some that I run into that I am not going to know just pretty much exactly how to manipulate and exploit them to their fullest potential right off the bat. So you'll get to learn with me on those ones, and then there's some that I am very familiar with, like Tinker's Construct, that and I think that a lot of people that play modded are very familiar with some of these core, what I would call core mods, which you find in almost every mod pack, that I am very familiar about how to exploit and get the most out of in the shortest period of time, or whatever, basically utilize them to their fullest potential. So but I need some more grout because I want to make a basin, and I want to have some bricks around for expanding that if I wanted to, or if somebody wants to, because like I said, I am going to go find me a nice little quiet corner of the world to call my own here as soon as I get a full set of armor. I'm also going to need to worry about food, and we have found a couple of bugs that are going to have to be squashed by the time we do the next update. Now it is me and Saxon's responsibility to update this mod pack, as we are the creators of it. Everybody from the community, the Minecraft community, had the opportunity to put their input in for... I wonder who was putting aluminum in there. Interesting. Well, I live and learn, I guess. So people figure it out eventually. Yeah, once you have your Tinker's Construct smeltery, you really don't want to put any metals in your furnace, unless you're doubling them some other way, like with a grinder or pulverizer. And if you're doing a grinder or pulverizer, probably the best choices out of those is probably the sag mill from EnderIO. One of my favorite tech mods these days, mainly because it allows you to run power and item ducts, fluid ducts, ME cables, and redstone wire all through a 1-block space. It's pretty neat. We'll get to that. That's one of my favorite tech mods right now. So And I'm really happy that that's now available 1.7.2. So that guy is definitely keeping up with his mod. I love it. And he's adding more stuff to it all the time. It's grown a lot from the original mod of what it originally was. So let's see, and is this going to smelt enough ingots for what I need? Probably. There we go. Just need a basin, and I think I'm going to need a spigot, which is just 3. Okay, good enough. And then I will be able to get a few blocks of iron out of this real quick, rather than have to wait for individual ingots. And the spigots are still a lot slower than an EnderIO fluid conduit or a thermal expansion duct. We do have thermal expansion on here. We do have Minefactory Reloaded, so that's the majority of our tech there. EnderIO, Minefactory Reloaded, Applied Energistics, and big reactors. We also have BuildCraft, not quite as, I wouldn't say it's quite as high-tech, but we do have logistics pipes to accompany that, which does provide a lot of options. And something we have that's very similar to that functionality is we have Steve's Factory Manager, and I really want to get into working with that a bit because that provides you with some really powerful options for automation and item manipulation between machines and inventories and such like that. And since we have another mod called Random Things, we'll look at that one real quick because that one's it really is just a bunch of random things. But one of those random things is a very awesome block called the, is that it right there? Inventory interface? No, not the inventory interface. There it is, the player interface. So that will mimic the player's inventory, and then you can manipulate and interact with your player's inventory with pipes, ducts, and Steve's Factory Manager and pretty much anything that can interact with an inventory, like say a chest or a machine, will be able to also interact with your inventory using the player interface, and that is going to allow me to make some pretty awesome and interesting things that I can be able to do with my inventory. Primarily, I mean, the best part about it is I'll be able to clear out things as I mine them. Say iron and stuff like that will be able to go straight back to my base. Cobblestone will be able to be cleared and, you know, processed into whatever, possibly compressed. So I need 3 of these, I think, to make the armor. Possibly compressed or whatever. But yeah, there's just so many really awesome mod interactions. You can do some really powerful stuff. Once you reach a certain level of power in this mod, it's really difficult to start. I mean, you've seen how difficult it was when we were starting the other day. If you watched episode 1, it would be very difficult. But it can be very easy once you get to a certain level to, you know, go about your business, build what you want, you know, and be very powerful. And at that point, you can pretty much go around with a little bit of impunity. And you know, what I plan to do is work on my pranking style, because I don't really have a pranking style yet. Everybody else in the Minecraft community is a bit of a prankster. I would probably say a little bit of a prankster, at least. Some people are major pranksters, and my pranking level is, So yeah, I want to improve that, and I'm going to work on it on here. So maybe it might bring me some retribution on the vanilla server, but I don't mind. I'll take it. So let me get my iron armor built up, and then I can go out and start looking for my spot. So I had a few pieces of iron left over. Toss those in that chest for the next guy. Okay, so what I need to take with me to when I do find my spot is I need the 2 diamonds. But I'm going to go ahead and pre-craft the one item that I want to have with me when I get out there. And I need some smooth stone because I want to work on blood magic as soon as I get out there. I'm going to go ahead and throw some in there so that finishes off. And then I'm going to cook up some smooth stone. Yeah, because we have big reactors, the coal wants to go in the top of the furnace because it can be cooked down into graphite. So it's confused about where it wants to be, either the top of the furnace or the bottom of the furnace, and apparently it prefers to be cooked rather than to be used as fuel. So let's let that cook. I think I need a regular furnace, so I'm going to grab a little bit more cobble out of there and make a furnace. Something to note, and I'll move this over. Something to note about these Tinker's tools that I don't know if I remember if I heard it on another video or if I just kind of figured it out from default, from messing with them. But if you have a Tinker's tool selected, left clicking is going to break blocks of the type that it's designed for. But if you right click with the Tinker's tool, it's going to attempt to place the block that is beside it into the world. Actually, so I should probably have torches there. So if I'm mining along, I can put torches beside my pick, and then every so often I can just right click and it puts a torch down. I don't have to switch tools. Pretty neat. I like that. It's just something I kind of realized or learned lately. I don't even remember exactly how I figured it out, but okay. And I need oh shoot, I need gold. I'm gonna need gold. Hopefully I can mine gold with this. I totally forgot I needed like 2 pieces of gold. Hopefully I can mine gold with the iron pick. So I'm about to go find out. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing some gold down here in this cavern, in this cave system that I dug out looking for lava and materials and stuff. And it looks like there's a really nasty... Oh, that's probably either a creeper or a choo-choo. No, that's a tainted creeper someplace. Maybe it's above me on the surface in a cavern. I don't know. Don't know. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, what I can do is I can get some of this, because that will help me out. This is Force Power Ore, and that's from Dartcraft. So we have Dartcraft that provides a whole different avenue of tools and magic. It's kind of like a magic tech kind of mixture pack or mod, and it's kind of hard to describe. Kind of Legend of Zelda-ish, if you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully most people know what I'm talking about when I say Legend of Zelda, which is an old Nintendo game. It's pretty neat. It provides an alternative route to the tool advancement that you would have to use with Tinker's Construct and the Iguana Tweaks being installed. So there's a few alternatives to Iguana Tweaks. So yeah, see here I can't mine gold. So what I am going to do is, since I just got the power ore, I gotta find my way back up there now. Okay, back up to the surface. I'm gonna make a a Dartcraft pick. I forget what they call those. Force pick. That's what it's called. Force. There's force picks, force shovels, basically every kind of tool that you can imagine in the force variant, and there's also armor as well. So I'm gonna need some metal. So there's iron ingots in there. I can improve my yield here if I cook the iron first in a furnace. I'm going to have to take some of these things out for temporary. And I need 1, 2 of those cooked up. And I hope that that will give me 3 ingots when I... Because what this is going to do is it's going to turn it into... I think it's called Dart Iron. We'll say, yeah, Dart Iron, which can only be used to create force ingots. So you want to be careful about recooking your iron ingots, because once you do that, you're making force iron out of it. So, but that's actually my goal here. So that's good. So yes, that gives me 3 force nuggets or ingots. So now I can take and grab a piece of wood. Actually, 2 pieces of wood because I need sticks, and put together a... Oop, oh yeah, you need... Okay. Okay, I'm gonna need a little bit more force ingots here. So let me go ahead and cook up 2 more of these. I totally forgot to get... In order to make force tools, you need force sticks, and in order to get force sticks, you need force trees. And in order to get force trees, you need a force wand, which can be crafted with a force nugget, a regular force ingot, and I believe a regular stick. Yes, there we go. It gives you an empty force rod. It basically has like just a tiny bit of usage left. But it's enough that I can turn one, if I can find one. Shouldn't be, okay, none in there, but I'm surrounded by trees, so it shouldn't be a big deal to get a oak leaf here. Probably by the time I chop this tree all down, and it doesn't hurt to chop the whole tree down because I'm going to need wood and... Anything? No? It does not appear that one gave me anything. Because I'm going to need the wood for either building or I can make charcoal out of it. I can use it. That's the point, is I definitely will find a use for it. Could swear these guys give oak saplings. I need a... No? I need an oak sapling. Well, here's a regular old oak tree right here, kind of growing in the midst, because... So this should give me an oak sapling, right? Yeah, there's one. Okay, good. So I think... do I do this in my crafting window? Yes, there we go. A force sapling. It looks like I could actually make more than one with that force wand, but that was my goal right there, just to get that one. Now I need just a nice clear spot to get it to grow. That looks like it's clear enough, and I'm going to go see if I can find some bone to make that process happen a little faster. Apparently none in there. There we go. I got the 2 other, because I need now some more force ingots to make more, to make the tools actually. To make, I really just want to pick, because that force pick is going to be able to break pretty much anything. So I either got to go find some bones someplace, and I might even be able to find some in the graveyard nearby. Or find a skeleton. I don't see any skeletons on my radar. A natural cave. I don't know if there's a graveyard real close, but just fly around a little bit, do a little quick flyby. Some stuff. Ooh, there's something I do want. Tarma root. This is an Ars Magica plant, and they're not the rarest Ars Magica plant, but when you see one, if you have Ars Magica and you want to practice magic the Ars Magic way, you do want to pick that up. So speaking of magic, let's talk real quick about the primary magic mods, and I think we have a couple what I might call secondary magic mods, but the primary ones are Ars Magica. That would be like your traditional book wizardry, you know, runes and stuff. You put together spells in spell scrolls and learn, you know, spells and cast spells from a book. You have blood magic, which is pretty much as it sounds. You use blood, either your own or enemies or passive mobs or villagers, to power your spells and your magics. We have Thaumcraft, which would be artificing, which would be item magic, where you manipulate items and put together different things to achieve magical effects. And we have, let's see, what was the fifth, the fourth one? Oh yes, witchery, and that is natural magic. You gain your powers through the manipulation of plants and natural things. So yeah, we have 4 different primary avenues of magical advancement. And then there's some secondaries, like Dartcraft is kind of like a magical style thing. It's kind of like, well, it's force magic, you know. It's kind of like use the force. It's kind of like Jedi magic or something like that. I'm not really sure how I would categorize that with those other ones. And there's some bone. That's what I'm looking for. So I can head back to, since my last death point was inside the hut, I pretty much already have a waypoint for it. So yeah, Dartcraft kind of is a magical thing, but it is kind of like a futuristic style, Jedi style magic. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure how I would categorize that with the other 4, primaries. Then like random things is sort of magical, and then some of its stuff is sort of magical in nature. The extra utilities has some definite things that are magical in nature, but they're like not like not what I would call primary magics, where, you know, Ars Magicia is like a complete, there we go, boom, that's what I needed. And when I break this guy down, I'm going to get some force logs, and I'll be able to make those force sticks, and I will get that force pick, and then I will get the gold. So I'm probably getting pretty close to a wrapping up point for episode 2. I don't think I will be, I think I will probably be right back from that point and go right into episode 3. But before I do all that, I want to get the gold. Oh, no. Make planks. I'll save that. And I'll get 4 sticks. I'll save those. I want to get my force pickaxe. I'm not sure, I don't know if I want to leave this force stuff here for newbies, because I kind of want them to like have to figure that out. I know Sky Ain't High, he knows about force because he helped extensively test this pack on the test server before, when we were building it, so he had a good chance to play with all the mods and get fairly familiar with stuff. And if anybody has been watching this episode, they'll know what to do for this stuff anyway. So, but I think that's going to go with me. Yeah, going to go with me. What I can, no, I need the gold first. Dang it. Must get the gold. Okay, so to get the gold, I'm going to need the force pick on the bar. Now to run back down here, I'm going to get the gold, I'm going to make a couple items that I need, and that's when I'm going to wrap it up at that point. When I got the 2 item, or the 1 item that I specifically need to place down to basically claim, you know, to mark where I'm going to be building my fortress of solitude, or whatever you want to call it. My base, my magic temple. I don't know. I'm not sure what it's going to actually look like when I get around to building it. It's going to be fairly big. Probably at least 9 chunks big around. Oh, wrong pick. Use the force. Use the force. And look at that. I can get gold. I can even get diamond with this, I'm pretty sure. And I might even be able to get obsidian with this pick. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think I can. So yeah, force tools will bypass the Iguana Tweaks restrictions. So very good to know for all those people who are complaining about, oh, it's so hard, you can't make wooden tools. Oh. You know, I never thought it made very much sense to be able to break a bit of stone with a wooden pickaxe anyway, but it definitely, a force pickaxe should definitely be able to break about anything because it's using force. Pure force. Okay, back up here, and I'm going to melt some gold down in the smelter here in a second, as soon as I get up here. I think I might even got enough to, I got more than enough to do 2 blocks, so I'm actually going to save some of that. I'm going to put 9 in there, which is going to give me 2 blocks. As soon as that melts down, I can pour out the blocks and then break those down into the nuggets, craft up what I needed to craft, which is going to require that smooth stone that I made up earlier. And I got one of these chew things. That's a force related item and I don't really need it, so I'm just going to toss that out. Anything else I can toss out? I can tell you there's some stuff I can leave behind. I don't need bricks. I don't need arrows right now. I need that apple because I'm going to run out of food bar here in a minute. We are on hard mode, so we can starve to death. I don't need that grout. The extra iron ingots. And I don't need those oak saplings. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take these. The other awesome thing about forest trees, when you cook down a forest log, instead of getting regular coal, you would get golden power nuggets, which is similar to coal, except it actually has just a little bit more energy stored in it. So when you go to put it in, say, a furnace or whatever, you actually would get more usage out of it. And there are force furnaces. You can build a force furnace. So yeah, the Dartcraft is very useful for early game bypassing the traditional or some of the restrictive things that we've put in or have been requested. And I shouldn't say we put in. Most of the stuff was requested. If you want to know what I specifically requested Blood Magic, and I specifically requested EnderIO, and I'd have to look at a chart to remember what the other 2 ones that I actually specifically requested. And then a lot of people, there was a few requests that we weren't able to accommodate because of the mods just would not work together. But for those, we tried to, find something different for that from that person. What else were you interested in? So when you look at the mod list in the description of the video, keep in mind that it was picked out by the whole of the community. So everybody had a say, at least everybody that was around at the time. And if they didn't have a say, it wasn't for lack of trying. We tried to get everybody's input on what we was going to put in this pack. So it does have an interesting mix. Like, personally, I would have probably not taken the Morph. I think it's a little overpowered, but it's in here, so I'm going to use it, which is how I'm flying around right now. If we didn't have the Morph, there's all those magic mods that we had. There's a lot of things in them that would make up for that. Or in another way to look at it is Morph depreciates a lot of the magic stuff, however you want to look at it. So yeah, diamond and a furnace and some of these, and there's my blood altar, and that's gonna get me started. Oh shoot, I actually need some glass. I better make that here. Okay, cool. I have glass, I have gold, I have that's aluminum. I need a nugget of, or an ingot of iron, and I can make the other thing that I need to actually get started in blood magic, which is going to be my sacrificial orb, and hopefully I won't have to use that for too long. Cut these backwards. There we go. Oh, that's going to change when we do the update, probably, because in the newer versions of blood magic, that goes from a sacrificial knife to a sacrificial orb. I'm not sure why they did it. There was something about, you know, playability for younger people or something. I think that was his reasoning, but I'm not 100% sure. And I am ready to strike out on my own, or go find my place. But it's nighttime. I'm the only one on the server, though. I don't know if oh, look at that wheat. I'm going to go ahead and harvest that up, because that's going to be useful on trying to find my place, because flying around as a bat takes a lot of energy. It really does. It's very hunger bar intensive. It burns up your hunger real fast. So I'm going to grab that wheat. I might even have to do some of that exploring in non-bat mode. Find another morph to use. Another good one is, if you're trying to explore, is actually a horse, because it can do the step up where you don't have to jump. It's a really good one for exploring. Another really good one for exploring is squid, which I might even have already. No? Which I can get real fast. I should. Where'd he go? Come here, squid. Squid. Got him. Okay, so now I got another thing. And so, real quick, default keys for Morph, and this is kind of more for the benefit of the rest of the Minecraft community that don't already know. The left and right bracket, either of those will open up this menu, and then they will allow you to scroll through. And if you happen to get one that has multiple models, like say there's several models of skeleton, you would hold shift and bracket to scroll through the separate different types of skeletons if you had multiple ones. You'll notice that my bat has a star, and my actual human form is always there, but for the star, you would have your menu open and select one, like say I want squid to be one of my favorites, so I hit the tilde key and now it's one of my favorites. So if I don't have the morph menu open like that, and I hold the tilde key down, it brings up this menu, and I just move my mouse in the direction of the one that I want, and when I let go of the tilde key, I'm going to morph into that. So now I'm about to morph into a squid and fall out of the sky into the ocean, which is good because squids can't breathe air; they gotta stay in the water. But I think this is going to be a wrapping up point. I will start out my quest for a new home in the next episode. I'm going to sneak a peek in here. Maybe there's no bed, but I'm just going to pretend like I'm going to bed here, and I'm going to end the episode like I'm going to bed. So you cannot sleep as a morph. You have to be in human form. Just get the right view there. Oh wow, this is a cramped little hut, but I'm going to huddle my well-equipped little person now here. He's going to huddle in the hut until I get back for the next episode, which I will strike out and find a new home. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't, let me know in a comment what I might be able to do to improve it for the next time. I will catch you later.